Welcome to another episode of She Plants a Vineyard podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Withrow, and this podcast is sponsored by The Affinity Films. So 3 things I'm going to talk about today: the AI doll trend, WNBA draft, and some interesting Facebook ad comments that I've gotten recently. But before we get into all of that, I just want to thank everybody that came to my open house. I wish there had been a few more people, but I am very grateful to everyone that did come. I appreciate all of you. And the next day I had the ribbon cutting, and there was a bunch of business owners from the chamber that came to that. And so I am forever grateful to all of you for the support. And it absolutely just means the world to me that you took time out of your day to come and support me. It's absolutely amazing. And just want to thank you guys so much for that. Also, I am having guests on this podcast. Like I said in the intro episode, it has been a little bit difficult to schedule the mom entrepreneurs because they are probably some of the busiest people in the world. Like, they are taking care of kids and they're running a business. I do have a couple scheduled, one for Friday and then one for next week. So we are getting some wonderful guests on the podcast. It has just been taking a little bit of time to get them scheduled in. But moving on to the first topic, the AI doll trend. So I saw a few marketers complaining about brands and businesses doing this trend. And one of the marketers that I saw on Threads, they posted, they were like, "I told my clients they don't have to follow every trend, blah, blah, blah." And they were like complaining about the AI doll trend. And what I'll say is this, like, who cares? Honestly, if people want to have fun doing it, or even if they think it might get them more views or more likes or more business, let them do it. They're just having fun. And I did it, so maybe I'm being a little defensive here, but for the most part, I provide valuable content. I provide quality content. I'm talking to you guys every single week, and I'm posting authentic content every single week and on my Instagram and my TikTok and my Reels. And I'm speaking to you guys directly. I'm also meeting with local businesses in my area, and I'm being a part of my community. So I think if businesses are doing that for the most part and they're being authentic for the most part, like, let them join a trend. Who cares? Like, stop being a bully. Stop trying to act like you're better than everyone because you don't follow trends. Let people have fun. And I think especially for me, I tend to be a more serious person. So when I can kind of let loose and just have a little bit of fun and let my creativity come to life, like, I love that, and it's fun for me. I think there's a second part of the conversation, which is the environment, and I do understand that as well, which is why I took the doll. Like, I made the doll I wanted, but I had it just create a plain background, and then I added a bunch of things that I wanted, and I just did that all in Canva. So I think that I do understand the environment part, but let's be honest, we're using our phones. That's not good for the environment. I'm using electric. I'm using these bright lights. Like, that's not great for the environment, probably. I drove a gas car today. That's not great for the environment. 50% of our electric is run on coal. That's not good for the environment. So I think we're doing a lot of things that aren't good for the environment. And to point out what a few people are doing or whatever, like a trend that's going on that's not good for the environment, I do understand it, but I think let's also give people grace. Like, they're trying to have fun. And I'm someone that, although I absolutely do care about the environment, and obviously we need to make steps that do improve our environment because it is a dangerous thing where our environment is right now, but we all do things that aren't good for the environment. And I'm someone who is always going to be looking towards technology and what it can do for us, because I obviously participated in the NFT thing when that was a big thing, and I still have an NFT, and that there was some controversy around that with it not being good for the environment, and I know AI in general, people are talking about it. So I do think that's an important conversation to have, and I'll be a part of that conversation any day of the week. But the conversation I'm not going to be a part of is just bullying people and being mean to people because they want to do something that's fun. Like, let's leave people alone. The next thing I want to talk about is the WNBA draft, in particular, why Sedona Prince did not get drafted. But first, I want to talk about some of the people that did get drafted. We had Paige Beckers from UConn. She's an absolute menace on the court. Destroyed South Carolina, which I was a little bit surprised about because I am a Dawn Staley stan. I love Dawn Staley. I think she is I used to say the GOAT, but now that UConn won again, I gotta call Coach G the GOAT. But I love Dawn Staley; she's absolutely amazing. But Paige Beckers absolutely destroyed South Carolina at the championship. So I'm so I've been watching her obviously all season, and she's just an absolute menace on the court. And UConn has destroyed almost every team that they've played. But she's absolutely phenomenal. I'm so excited to get her rookie card, hopefully, and to see her play in the W with the Dallas Wings. And then we also had someone from France, and I actually, if you ask me about women's basketball, I'm probably going to be able to tell you a lot about it, but I did not know about this girl, Dominique Malengo, I believe. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And if I'm not, you can destroy me in the comments. I am so sorry. But I didn't know about her, but she's 6'6", and they showed a highlight reel, and she can dunk, she can shoot from the 3-point line. She's absolutely incredible, and it would be really cool to see, obviously we've had Brittany Griner and Lisa Leslie dunk, but someone that could do it a little bit more regularly would be super fun to have in the W. And for people that enjoy that type of gameplay, I think it would be really entertaining and fun for them, because then they could come over to the W and watch the kind of gameplay that they do enjoy. Also, we had Haley Van Lith from TCU. Shout out Haley Van Lith, just an incredible ball player, so excited to see her as well. And JJ Quinterly went in the third round. I thought she should have went in the second round, but I guess the W teams didn't think so. But she is actually going to be playing with Paige Becker, so that will be super cool for her, I think, and a great person to learn from. And I think her and Paige will have really great gameplay if they get to. I don't know how they'll play JJ, if they'll have her on the bench or if they'll have her just as a regular guard. But we'll see. It should be interesting, and I'm super excited about that. Now, let's get into the drama. Sedona Prince did not get drafted. If you don't know who Sedona Prince is, she is actually an incredible basketball player. I think she's probably the number one reason why West Virginia lost in the playoffs, because she was just defensively a menace under the rim. She was blocking every shot. She's a really, really good basketball player. And obviously she's great under the rim as well offensively. But she's a terrible person, okay? They had over 200,000 signatures to kick her off the team because she has had multiple abuse allegations against her. So I am very happy that the teams from the WNBA decided to not draft her. I was kind of surprised that they didn't draft her, but I'm very glad that they didn't. And I kind of knew, at least if she did get drafted, that she wouldn't last long. This is something that I have actually seen with the W. They are really paying attention to culture, I think. Actually, last year, Kennedy Carter hip-checked Caitlin Clark, and I'll put that as a video here, but after that happened, it wasn't very long that I'm pretty sure she got kicked off the team, and she was kind of bringing bad culture in general to that team, I think, and so the W said, hey, we're not doing this. We're not putting bad culture, or at least the teams are saying, hey, we don't want this bad culture. And obviously there are some things that could improve, I think with the Las Vegas Aces and maternity leave, there's been some weird things about that. But I think in general, the W is doing a really good job of trying to create a good culture there. And I think it's a wonderful thing that Sedona Prince didn't get drafted. And I know if you are a W fan, we were all cheering. We were all cheering. If you watched it last night or you found out this morning, we were all thank goodness she did not get drafted, because none of us wanted to watch her play. And trying to cheer on Haley Van Lith with TCU and Sedona Prince playing on the same team as her was kind of difficult, because I love Haley Van Lith, but I did not want to cheer on Sedona Prince. So very glad she is not in the W. And I think all the W fans are happy about that. But I do want to talk to TCU directly, because you guys claim to be a Christian university, but there was over 200,000 signatures to kick Sedona Prince off the team, and you guys ignored that, and you guys allowed her to keep playing just because she was a great basketball player. And I think this is something different that the W is doing, because you don't see the NFL doing this, you don't see the NBA doing this. They are saying your character matters more than who you are as a basketball player, because we want good culture here. And TCU maybe you should take some notes, because I'm disappointed that you allowed her to keep playing just because she was a good basketball player when she had that many abuse allegations against her. Heck yeah, WNBA, shame on you, TCU. Now, moving on to some interesting Facebook comments that I got. Case Justin says, I found you. Will you marry me? LOL. What size ring? LOL. I need help. Yeah, you do need some help, Case. And what size shoe? LOL. I had this saying about not being bigger than a size 6. But for you, I can make an exception. Well, Case, I'm actually known for the size of shoe I wear. It's actually kind of funny that I got this comment, because I get comments all the time about how small of a shoe I wear. And from my friends and my family, someone, at least if I'm over at their house, at least one person's like, whose kid's shoe is this? And I kind of get made fun of a little bit for how small my feet are. So I guess you're in luck. But no, I will not marry you. The next comment I got was a little bit more grotesque. The next comment I got was from Chris Vandervelden. He says, first of all, is that a real last name? I feel like you watched Lord of the Rings and then was like, I want a cool last name. That Vandervelden? I don't think that's real. Anyways, Chris Vandervelden says, so I'm getting that she's a sex worker, question mark, period. Using her body to get ahead, question mark. And I replied, dang, Facebook was supposed to target business owners who are growing their businesses using social media. From your profile, it looks like you're not the correct target audience, but I appreciate your engagement anyways. It would have taken you 3 seconds to click the link from the ad to go to my website and to see that I am not a sex worker. I help businesses grow their client and customer base through social media. And if you went to my website, you would have seen that. There's no shame to anyone that uses OnlyFans or any of those websites to make money. I'm not God. I'm not here to judge. But that's not what I want. I want to help businesses grow their customer and client base using social media. And I could easily go back to manufacturing like I did 10 years ago, or I could use OnlyFans to make money, but that's not my purpose in life. That's not what I want to do. And I quit my job 8 years ago so I could pursue a business dream, the dream of creating something that has meaning and helping other businesses grow. That is the purpose that I have in life. And in terms of my career, being an entrepreneur means you're living in the dirt. Most entrepreneurs are working 16 to 18 hours a day. You know, like, even if you're not physically there at the office, you're not physically working, we are constantly thinking about how we can better serve our clients, how we can have better products and services. And if you like own a restaurant, you might be worried about like how you're going to pay for the supplies that you need or the ingredients that you need. Those are things that entrepreneurs are worried about. And yes, it would be a lot easier for me to go over to OnlyFans or go over to one of those platforms and make money. 100% it would be. But that's not what I want to do, Chris. So sorry, I am not a sex worker, and it's pretty sad that I'm getting comments like this already. I knew that I might get comments like this, but I did have some hope in humanity that it might not happen. Anyways, that's the end of the podcast. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.